Thank you for joining us for the June Community Connection. I'm Brian Strand. Summer is here, and you may want to try biking and walking activities around Fridley. Some of these trails will take you on both sides of the track. Rachel Workin will show you how to safely cross the railroad tracks via the transit tunnel.
Biking in Fridley is fun and full of options, but depending on your route, you may need to plan around safely crossing the BNSF railroad tracks. Protected bike trails over the railroad can be found on 85th Avenue, Osborne Road, and the Rice Creek West Regional Trail by Lock Lake. You can also cross on road via Mississippi Street and 44th Avenue. But another lesser-known option to safely cross the tracks is at 61st Avenue through the tunnel at the North Star train station. To reach the station, you approach on 61st Avenue from the east side or 61st Way off East River Road or the Mississippi River Trail from the west side. To cross the station, enter through the station doors and go to the lower level via the stairs or elevator. Cross through the tunnel and back up on the other side. The tunnel doors are open from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. If you're catching the train, you can lock your bike to one of the provided bike racks or contact Metro Transit to rent a bike locker. You can also bring the bike with you on the train. The train travels from downtown Minneapolis to Big Lake with lots of great jumping off points for longer bike rides. Some Fridley cyclists even take the train out to Big Lake and ride back home for a 36-mile bike trip. From the west side of the Fridley station, it's easy to jump on the Mississippi River Trail, which includes the Mississippi River Regional Trail through Anoka County. Just look for these signs. Find more information on Fridley's North Star Station at metrotransit.org/Fridley-station. Do you have electronics or other bulky items to recycle? Join us for one of our bi-monthly recycling drop-off and paper shredding events at Greenlights Recycling, located at 1525 99th Lane Northeast in Blaine. At each event, we accept appliances, electronics, TVs, fluorescent lights, batteries, scrap metals, tires, and mattresses for recycling at free or reduced pricing. We also accept up to 4 boxes or bags of paper for free on-the-spot paper shredding. Additionally, Greenlights Recycling offers disposal of non-recyclable bulky waste, such as furniture, for a fee. If you're looking to get rid of a working refrigerator or freezer, consider recycling it through XL Energy instead. XL offers in-home refrigerator and freezer pickups for free and will even give you a rebate on your energy bill for $30 to $50. You can learn more about their fridge recycling program at xlenergy.com/fridge or call 1-800-599-5795. Drop-off events are open to all Fridley residents. Please bring a proof of residence, including an ID, driver's license, or piece of mail. Cash or check is accepted. For a full list of acceptable items, pricing, and available discounts, please visit fridleymn.gov/dropoff or call 763-572-3594.
Summer lawn care can have an adverse effect on our waterways. The Mississippi Watershed Management Organization explains how basic lawn care can help.
Hello, my name is Adam Flett, and I'm with the Mississippi Watershed Management Organization, and I'm here today to talk about proper lawn care techniques that will help you get a denser, healthier lawn, that will help it retain more moisture during times of drought, shade out weeds, and as well as collect more stormwater to reduce pollutant runoff. The main principle that we're going to be talking about is mowing high and often, and there's a couple of different techniques you can use to make sure that you're reaching that. So the first thing you're going to want to do when you're considering mowing high and often is to check the decking of your lawnmower. You want to aim for 3 to 3.5 inches of blade length of the grass, and you can check that by using a tape measure or a ruler. So we'll check it right now. And it looks like it's a little bit low still, maybe around 2.5 inches, so we're just going to want to make sure that we move it a little bit higher. So we're at about 3 inches of blade length now, and your blade might sit a little bit higher than that, so being around 3 to 3.5 is a good area. Keeping a longer blade length essentially keeps your grass looking healthier and denser because it helps shade out those weeds and makes your grass act more like a sponge. So when your grass dries out, it's less likely to take in more stormwater versus when it's consistently wet. So having a longer blade length will help shade it to make sure that it keeps more water over the course of time, especially in drought periods. So as you can see, I mowed a patch of the grass right now, and I really focused on keeping the lawn clippings towards the center of the yard. It's really important to keep the grass clippings off of impervious surfaces like sidewalks and driveways and alleys to keep them from going into the storm drain system. As you can see, that leaves some clippings over, which actually can be really great for your lawn and act as a fertilizer over the course of the season. It's the equivalent of one full fertilization. Grass clippings are really high in nitrogen and phosphorus, so they can help feed back into your lawn and keep them healthy. Another thing to consider with your grass clippings is if it's getting really dense, you can always bag your grass clippings and put them into your compost, or just put them into yard waste if you don't want to use them for compost. So as you can see, we also have some grass still left on the sidewalk here. And in the backyard, it actually goes downhill towards the alley. So if it rains, whatever's on the sidewalk might actually flow down into the alley and ultimately end up in storm drains and contribute some of that fertilizer back into the local water bodies as well as the river, which can lead to algal blooms. A few other things to consider are around yellowing and browning in your lawn. It doesn't have to be perfect, and your grass will go dormant midway through the season, so that's okay. If you are considering watering your lawn, I would really think about watching the weather. You really want to aim for around 1 inch of water per week, and oftentimes that comes through rainwater and stormwater. Another thing you can have is a rain gauge that will help you track how much water has fallen in a given week. And if you do need to supplement, you can always use a sprinkler, again, aiming for that 1 inch of water per week. If you really get tired of having lawn and it's not working out well for you, you can always consider getting rid of turf and putting in a low maintenance fescue or grass mix. You can also consider adding a native plant garden or other types of gardens that might capture more water than turf itself. If you have any questions about lawn care maintenance, make sure to put them in the comments. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe.
Have you heard about the City of Fridley's Adopt a Park program? The program welcomes all community members to adopt one of Fridley's 38 parks. This volunteer opportunity is open to residents, neighborhoods, schools, community organizations, and businesses. Volunteers will work to keep Fridley's parks clean by picking up litter, removing weeds, maintaining the areas around park signs, and reporting vandalism and safety hazards to city staff. The Fridley Adopt a Park program is a great opportunity to give back to the community for anyone who cares about keeping our city parks clean and beautiful while supporting our city's parks maintenance crew.
We have 6 full-time employees and approximately 15 to 20 seasonal employees. We spend a lot of time in our parks with just cleanup. The Adopt a Park program will help us to free up our time to do larger projects of rebuilding and reconstruction within the park system.
Adopt a Park volunteers will receive a short training and an overview of responsibilities for their park prior to their first cleanup. Volunteers conduct their cleanup duties on their own schedule, but must participate in at least 4 cleanups per year at their adopted park. At least 1 member per group must be 18 years of age and be present at all cleanups. Participants do not have to be Fridley residents. Volunteers will be recognized for their contribution to the city with a commemorative sign in their park. This sign will be on display for the duration of their participation in the program. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Fridley staff have added social distancing guidelines. The guidelines recommend wearing gloves and face masks and encourages volunteering in small groups or with members within a household. Volunteers are asked to maintain 6 feet of distancing between themselves and park users and are encouraged to conduct cleanup duties when the park is least busy. The health and safety of Fridley community members and staff remain our highest priority. There are over 30 city parks available for adoption. You can see which parks are open for adoption through our interactive Adopt a Park map. There are a limited amount of volunteer opportunities for each city park, so sign up today. To learn more about the program or to apply, you can visit our website at fridleymn.gov/adoptapark or call Fridley Recreation at 763-572-3570. Help us make our Fridley parks and our community a more beautiful place to live.
Summer is a time to look forward to campfires and fireworks. Fire Chief Madison Zickman explains the rules and guidelines to having a safe summer.
Hello everybody, I'm your Fire Chief, Madison Zickman, and excited to share with you today that your firefighters are happy to be back in closer contact with you in some circumstances without masks and enjoying our city parks, our city facilities, our restaurants, and interacting with everybody again through city events. With our warmer weather though and the COVID restrictions coming off, we did want to remind you about a few regulations that cause some issues, quite frankly, in some of our emergency responses throughout the summer. And the first of which is our recreational fire regulations. Everybody likes to enjoy campfires in their backyard during the summer months, and we encourage you to do that, but we just want you to do it safely. So just a reminder of some of the city codes around our recreational fires, and that's what we call a campfire that you have in your backyard is a recreational fire. Those fires need to be in a non-combustible approved fire pit. So if you have a chimenea, if you have a brick fire pit, if you have a steel one that you've bought from a local hardware store, those are all great. We just want to make sure that you're using some kind of non-combustible material and you're not burning on your backyard or on top of mulch or anything else that might ignite. We also want you to be 25 feet away from any structure. That includes a shed that you might have or a wooden fence that protects your property, and obviously 25 feet from your house, from your neighbor's house, from any vehicles, anything else that could possibly ignite. The fire itself should be no more than 3 feet wide and no more than 2 feet tall, or your flames no more than 2 feet tall. We don't want you to use any ignitable fluids. It's a wives' tale to start fires with gasoline, kerosene, diesel fuel, anything like that. They're extremely dangerous, and we don't want anyone to get hurt just from trying to light that fire. So please only use real hardwood wood when you're burning your fires in your backyard, and don't use any ignitable fuels. They do make approved fire starters, and we encourage you to use those as well that you can find from certain gas stations or any of our local hardware stores here in Fridley or the surrounding area. The last thing surrounding recreational fires that we want to remind you of is that they cannot take place on a deck or a patio. And a lot of times we see residents that might have a fire pit that they put on their deck, or if you live in an apartment complex, enjoying one of those beautiful balconies that might overlook a creek or the river or any of our other city parks. We do not want you to burn anything on those patios. That actually includes a grill as well. If you have a balcony or a patio, a deck that's attached to your home or to your apartment, we want you to take your grilling down onto the main level, do it outside in an approved area. At apartment complex, they have areas set aside that you can specifically do that, and we certainly don't want you to have any kind of recreational fire on your deck or on your patio. There's a few small exceptions for those that have permanent grills on their patios or decks that are plumbed directly into the home utilities, but without those exceptions, that is not allowed here in the city of Fridley. Beyond recreational fires, we also are looking forward to the July 4th holiday, and with that comes fireworks. And everybody loves fireworks except your firefighters. The last thing we want to respond to is one of your kiddos getting burned from a sparkler or from a non-approved firework. So here in Fridley, we follow our state law, and that is that we do not allow any aerial fireworks. Anything that physically leaves the ground and launches or explodes in the air is not allowed here in the city of Fridley. And again, we don't want to respond to your home on that night, especially when we have kids around that are running around enjoying their sparklers and enjoying the holiday, and that can turn into a truly tragic scene. So again, please use approved fireworks. Sparklers are fine, and those that sit on a box on the ground, they should never be carried in your hand or lit while they're in your hand. And of course, please do so only as adults and from a safe distance. Nothing that creates an aerial device or will explode in the air. We hope that we can see you out around the city of Fridley, either on 4th of July or at some of our upcoming city events this summer. Thank you and take care.
Fridley is in a building boom. Community Development Director Scott Hickok takes us on a tour of some of these projects.
Hello, I'm Scott Hickok, Community Development Director for the City of Fridley. As you know, sometimes our items on the council's agenda result in townhomes, a townhome development like the one behind me, the Lennar development, 72 townhome units. Other times, the items are very, very important, but they result in something that's not quite as visible as 72 townhomes. Behind me, you see a row of evergreen trees, and just to my left, you see a fence for our Public Works facility. On the council's agenda on Monday night, there was a license agreement between Lennar, the builder, and the city of Fridley for this 10-foot space behind me where the evergreen trees are. As you can imagine, this was a sensitive area, and when the city designed its civic campus, it wanted to make sure that it was residential friendly as the evergreen trees were planted and some of the landscaping was considered. The license agreement that was on the council's agenda Monday night has to do with allowing the Townhome Association to take on the maintenance, the mowing around and planting of additional trees if they would feel it was necessary, and other types of things that would have to do with the outdoor enjoyment and possible separation between the townhomes and the new Public Works facility on this site. So as you've looked back at that agenda, as you've seen that there's a license agreement there, understand that this is what that has to do with. And it certainly will allow for the association to basically have a clear cutoff. They can maintain to the fence with that license agreement as opposed to stopping 10 feet from it. Just a few short episodes ago, we stood in a similar location and we were looking at far less building behind me. It has been amazing how quickly they have built out the neighborhood, which we know as the Lock Park Townhome Association, built by Lennar. They are down to the last 2 of the units in their construction, and construction has gone very well. Once they wrap up the building architecture itself, seal up the buildings with siding and windows and so forth, they will come back and complete the landscape for this development. And we will be full up with new neighbors surrounding our civic campus site. We're very excited for those new neighbors and the life and vibrancy they will bring surrounding our campus. Behind me is the Willows Bend Senior Development, a 134-unit building. It's only the beginning of that building, as you can see, but they've made great progress since we visited the site before. And it's always an exciting day when the crane arrives. The crane is bringing the pre-stress slabs of concrete to cap the foundation. And that will create the floor system for the construction that will happen above. As I mentioned, you can see there's a lot of work that's happened since we were here. Rock face block facing us. The entrance to the garage now is starting to take shape. You can see the shape of the building, a U-shaped building that will face south with a courtyard and take advantage of the sun's position as it warms up the entryway to the new building. We'll check back on the progress on this as it continues, and we're very happy to see that first 4 plank going in. It's the start of the framing part of this project that will bring it up out of the ground. Not too long ago, we were visiting this site as they were completing the Caribou Coffee Cabin. Now, as you can see behind us, a new tenant has moved in, or nearly moved in, not quite opened up yet, but that is Jersey Mike's. And there is 1 tenant space left that the developer is hoping to fill in a very short time. This site has come back to life, once as an auto repair location, now as a great spot for food and coffee. Axle apartment building coming up behind us, 4 stories, 261 units. Folks have asked, how tall is that building? And as you can see behind us, there's 4 living floors, 4 levels of apartments above the garage plinth. So from here, that's approximately the height that it'll be. Of course, there will be a built-up roof system on top of what you see, but it will not have a pitch to it. It will be a flat-roofed building. And it will be surrounded by ornamental fence, landscaping. It will have features, of course, that top off and finish the building, including balconies out from units and entryways coming out from the ground level. The fence that they're going to use will be an ornamental fence and will mimic the fence behind me, and it will be a shorter version of the Christensen Crossing fence on the south side of Mississippi. But their effort there will be to tie in then the 3 quadrants of the intersection with similar type fence materials. One other item that I'd like to mention while we stand here is that many of you will recall the University Avenue Highway 65 corridor project and the discussions we had about the beautification of the roadway. Behind me you still see a portion of chain link fence. There are some portions of chain link fence that remain that are intended to be removed. The one behind me is one such fence that will be coming down and will be left with landscape outside of the ornamental fence to my immediate rear. So if you're wondering, you're seeing those sections of chain link fence yet and saying, will that one be coming down? Yes, this segment along with several others have yet to come down, and the nice weather of this spring and summer will allow ample opportunity for us in our Public Works Department to remove those. Well, there's been a lot of press lately regarding the Embers and its final days. It is now closed. There is a demolition permit that we're on the brink of, and that demolition permit will lead to the removal of this building from the site, and soon after, construction of a new bank building will commence. Not only will there be a new bank building on this site, but you might recall down below the hill between Embers and Target will be a dollar store. Because the development is happening so close together, the bank and the dollar store developers have worked together on things like utilities for their new ventures. Look forward to both new developments as you'll be seeing activity, demolition first and then construction on both sites yet this late spring, early summer.
Have you signed up for the citywide garage sale yet? Here are the details.
Hello, my name is Alyssa Cruzel and I'm a Community Engagement Specialist with the City of Fridley. The City of Fridley will host its first citywide garage sale on Friday, June 25th and Saturday, June 26th. Sales will take place between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. Sellers declutter your home, earn some extra cash, and meet your neighbors. Shoppers find some great bargains, unique finds, meet your neighbors, and explore the Fridley community. Registration for the citywide garage sale starts on Thursday, April 15th. You can register your garage sale online or by calling 763-572-3570. The fee to participate in the garage sale is $10 and includes one garage sale yard sign. Garage sale hosts can purchase up to 2 additional yard signs for $5 each. The deadline to register your garage sale is Thursday, June 10th. If you miss the June 10th deadline, you will need to call to register your sale, and the fee will increase to $15. So don't wait to register. After you register to host a garage sale, city staff will provide you with a garage sale host guide with information on how to host a successful and safe garage sale. A map with all registered garage sales will be available online on the city's website starting on Wednesday, June 23rd. Printed garage sale maps will also be available for pickup at Fridley City Hall starting on Wednesday, June 23rd through Friday, June 25th, from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. On Sunday, June 27th, the city will also host a Trash to Treasures Day. One person's trash is another person's treasure. Residents of Fridley that want to participate in Fridley's Trash to Treasure Day should place any items they no longer want on the curb at the end of their driveways, clearly marked as free. Free items can be placed at the end of driveways from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Sunday, June 27th. Community members will have the opportunity to pick up any items that are marked as free. No registration required. The citywide garage sale is subject to changes with updates on the COVID-19 pandemic. Please check the city's webpage and social media accounts for the most recent updates and changes. City staff will be in direct communication with any garage sale hosts around COVID-19 guidelines and updates. Garage sale hosts and shoppers will be asked to follow distancing guidelines at the event. Learn more about Fridley's citywide garage sale and Trash to Treasure Day at fridleymn.gov/citywide garage sale. For more information or questions, contact me, Alyssa Krusel, Community Engagement Specialist at 763-572-3579 or at alyssa.krusel@fridleymn.gov.
That is all for this month's Community Connection. Be sure to subscribe to email updates and follow the City of Fridley on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. I'm Brian Strand, and thank you for watching Fridley Municipal Television. This has been a production of Fridley Municipal Television. Thanks for watching.